Hey, Brian Thomas here, and wow, I love going to see sawmills all over the place. This is actually a new series I'm going to start where we're going over and looking at different sawmills. This sawmill right here is actually a homemade sawmill, and it's not currently running. One of my buddies, his uncle, unfortunately passed away this last November, but this is one that he built. This is a homemade mill, and there's a lot of similarities between this and a Cook's because there's a lot of Cook's parts on this. But talk about a cool sawmill. So you've got, it looks like concrete piers every 8 feet on here. And these are, looks like 8-inch webbing on the I-beams and everything, but those are full length I-beams. No break in any welds or anything like that. Those are solid I-beams. The cutting deck appears to be 36 inches wide, and it's pretty robust. I mean, there's no way to say this. It's got a really cool angled iron piece right here. So you got a V groove that the actual wheels roll on. This chain right here, interesting thing on this mill, this chain does not stay still like on my Timber King mill. This is like, I guess, on a Cook's mill. The chain actually moves with the saw head as it goes in and out, and I'll show that here in a second. The log stops are, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 log stops, and they appear to be spaced out. Once those are up, somewhere in the 4-foot range. So you've got 4 foot between each of those, and you've got a almost a 5-foot gap, and then you've got 2 more spaced at 4 foot. And they actually operate on a square tubing piece right here, and they've got a pivot point underneath. Those are operated by a hydraulic ram right here. So pretty neat, similar design to the Timber King 1400 and 1600, but it's hydraulic. And these are stout. I mean, that's 1/2-inch steel, very stout. It does have toe boards. It's got a steel piece underneath here with a ram cylinder. It lifts up this toe board. Now this is froze up right now, but I'm sure that would be a rolling thing. It does have a log turner. The log turner seems pretty robust. You've got a hydraulic ram underneath that would lift this up, pivoting off a plate down there. And then you have a hydraulic motor right there, which goes to the gear here, which actually move the chain. Now this chain doesn't have, this is same size chain what I have on my Timber King, but does not have the big teeth portion like on the Timber King. But again, everything is on these concrete piers, and they're bolted down with some all thread all the way through. So this log deck, that's beefy. Then you have I-beams that go across on top of this frame, and I don't think it'd be any movement to all that at all. You're just over 2 foot between each of your log bunks and everything. The little board right here, I guess a little holder, I like how he had it a little triangular shape on top. So when you push the log over, it would actually dig into some meat there and hold it in place. Now the pushing over movement, it looks to be that there's only one log dog. That's this right here. That is a log dog. You've got a large ram underneath there that's secured on the I-beam over here. As it pushes, you've got this, articulating arm here. That is a log dog. It does have some movement. Ah, there you go. So it folds down for when you're doing a low cut, which would be at your 1 inch. You can have that like that, but when you pop this up and put this little thing right there, look at that. That is pretty nifty. You're talking about 8 inches or so. I like that. I mean, that is one heck of a log dog right there. That thing would have some pressure there. And you got 2 little spikes right here and 4 spikes down here. So you would definitely hold that log in place. I like how he kept the hydraulic lines up against the frame there. So very similar to like a Baker design. You got your hydraulic hoses inside that I-beam. I like that. Also, you see this PVC pipe right there, as well as the PVC pipe on the other side. That's actually where the chain on top here rolls through that. And if we roll all the way down here to the end, the roller, see there's actually a roller right here. So that chain, as the saw head moves back and forward, that's something you'd have to grease a whole lot and everything, but I like that. That's actually pretty cool. I bet you wouldn't have any sawdust build up on that chain as it rolls back and forth. Again, very robust. Every one of these out here has a spike as well, so I like that. Now, you only have one log dog towards the front, so I bet a board down here really wouldn't see a lot of pressure being pushed over. Let's go here to the saw head. Energy chain, pretty cool. That is, I guess he measured this out, that being halfway point of the mill. I guess it can make the full length and still have energy chain to move with it. The energy chain moves from behind the saw head, so I like that. And this seems to be a very robust energy chain too. Only appears to be one toe board. Yeah, just the one toe board on one side, which is fine. And on a situation like that, you would load your butt section down on that end and lift the small end. So, open this up. Look at those right there. Those are Cook's 26-inch full metal wheels. They've got a crown to them, and the blade that he's currently on there is running 1.25 inches. However, on those 26-inch wheels, I'm pretty sure you can run a 2-inch blade no problem. So that is a Cook's design right there. Also, the bearing right there that goes in and out, your guide bearing, that's very similar to a Cook's or Timber King design. And yeah, you see the other one right there. So very cool, very robust. Oh, I like this. There's his blade oiler. So just like on the Cook's where they had the little wiper system, he's got the wiper system up there, which is actually powered by, you see on the other side of the chain right there, there's a automotive fuel pump right there. I guess that would put oil or whatever, or diesel, if you want to say, onto that wadding there, which looks like to be cotton. So pretty cool. Put this back down. The engine source on this one, or the power source, is 3-phase. That is a 30-horse 3-phase, I believe, is the size. Currently not running. That's where he's going to be working on. And then the hydraulic pump down here is a 3-horse 3-phase motor as well, with the hydraulic pump here. Now, there are some solenoids in the back there that are controlled, and I don't know the full workings of this, but you've got one hydraulic pump that will actually power everything, it looks like. All right, bearing. I love this robust bearing right here, and I like how the drive wheel is actually behind where your blade's at. So if you have a blade blow up, I like this. Now this, she's kind of loud right now, screeching, but it would run 2 belts. It's currently only got 1 belt on there. Hadn't run in a while, but I like that. Also, you've got a stainless steel tube right here that this would roll up and down on, and then you have your head up and down controlled by a hydraulic motor up there. So I like that. Very robust design, very heavy. Now I will say that seems like a very, very small. It's a grade 5 bolt. Very, very small. I wouldn't trust. I don't know if I would trust all that weight because that's pretty heavy. This is robust enough you could put another engine on there, whether it be gas or maybe even diesel, but I would definitely upgrade the up and down system. Let's see. Oh, so we have the hydraulic pump right here, or motor right here, excuse me, that would move the saw head forward and back. So this hydraulic motor moves this right here, which moves the different chain lengths, which is hooked onto there. So you wouldn't have an issue. I don't see how you could have an issue with this thing jumping track unless it jumped a sprocket either here or at the other end. Still pretty neat design. Looks like about a 2-gallon hydraulic reserve tank. The controls, not sure on everything here. Nothing is marked because it all is homemade built. But hey, it's made in America. But pretty interesting though. So you have again, this is very similar design and Cook's. I'm sure some people who run a Cook's would know what some of this stuff is, but they've taken me a second here to look at this. And you've got the head up and down, just like what you see on Cook's. And this is pretty cool. This is the reserve tank for the hydraulic, or I guess the diesel fluid or whatever here, which goes to the automotive pump, which drips onto the blade. Pretty neat though. Same mechanism as Cook's for blade tensioning. You have that pivot block design and with a spring in there, because that spring right there allows for some movement as it's going through. Now this right here, his guide roller in and out, it was done manually. Yeah. So, and it looks to be about a 36-inch wide cut. And you have a very clear view underneath here. Now, one thing is, if I was operating this mill, I don't think I'd want to be on the side right here. I think I would want to be more in this direction because I like to see, well, I'm used to that though. So maybe I'm just biased towards that. Overall though, seems like a very robust mill. This is really neat though. The track, and you can see the wheels, everything seems to be really easy to get to. I say he did a great job building this mill right here. And it is, I mean, this thing is a tank. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this. This is something new and different. I'm going to try to look at different sawmills. This is my plan for this year, is go to a lot of different places that have different sawmills and see what I like about them, what I don't like. On this one right here, I like the idea of having the hydraulic movement of the head back and forth or down the track controlled actually not on the saw head. That's pretty cool. On the Timber King, our hydraulic head up and down is done with a hydraulic ram, whereas this is done with hydraulic motors. I would be very interested to see how accurate that is and how close you can get compared to hydraulic ram. Hydraulic ram, when I'm looking at my hydraulic pressures, does a lot of pressure, and I really can't run it until it starts to warm up. If I do it when it's cold, my hydraulic pressures spike way up there. So that'd be interesting to see how that actually works. And I'm actually going to do some picture taking and stuff like that so I can remember how this thing works, because I'm always interested in ways to improve upon some designs and always looking towards the future. But overall, very impressed. Again, I do like these right here. I think, you know, that right there would hold that board in there. It is not coming off. I like that a lot. I might see if I can add something like that to one of my mills, and maybe the one I'm working on. Mental note, use that on a new mill that I'm working on, the one I'm rebuilding currently. So very robust design. I would definitely on the chain turner to see some teeth on there to actually grab that log, but that appears to be very stout. And the height of these seems to be a little bit short. So if you're handling a very large log, you try using that turner, you might run the risk of falling off the backside. I do like how the energy chain is down low. So like on mine, I've got to be careful when I put my forks through, make sure I don't hit the energy chain. But overall, for a homemade mill, this thing is like pretty top notch. I cannot wait to see this running. So maybe later in the year, we'll do a video and show this, you know, homemade built behemoth running. But I think this is probably one of the best, you know, unfortunately it's not running right now, but this is one of the best homemade mills I have seen. It's definitely the stoutest one. And I just walked into briars and they are all over me. Oh yeah, awesome. But I'm all tangled up, folks. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a really neat series I'm gonna try to do, going over all these sawmills in the area. I want to go look at everything. I want to see wood misers. I want to see Timber Kings. I want to see bakers. I want to see if there's a select mill. I don't think there is down here. I don't want to see homemade mills. This is what I want to do a lot this year. And then we'll see what we can learn from all these different mills, and then see where we can go with that. I don't know. So, thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you around. Thanks.